Good evening. Brett and Cindy, tea and living. I guess we're going to talk about the garden.
It's a little bit of a late one, but
Yeah, we're getting more on the Thursdays than the Wednesday, aren't we?
I took off for a few days trying to get things caught up here because the garden is working us really hard. We'll have to show you our collection of tomatoes we've got in the last couple of days. I got 4 or 5 gallon buckets. 5.
Yesterday you picked up 4 last night, I know. Because you used the yellow 5-gallon bucket.
I got 2 today.
And you got 2 today. So that's 6 5-gallon buckets of tomatoes. Lots of tomatoes. But I did ask for salsa. And he made me some amazingly good salsa.
Made 8 quarts of pie. No, we made 8 quarts of salsa and 6 quarts of juice.
Yep.
Yesterday.
You made 8 and 6. And of course the 8th one there's not room in the canner, so
It only holds 7. So.
it went into the refrigerator for us to eat tonight. And it's really good. It's got a little bit of heat. Yeah, it's got a little bit of heat. I don't mind jalapenos. I'm just not good at eating them and juices. Yesterday, he's making the salsa. And when you're making the salsa, you got to stir it. Because we have a thin pan that, well, it's kind of a big jug thingy. But if you don't stir it, it can burn the bottom.
It's a stainless steel pot. I mean, it's not very thick. It's a thin stew pot.
Yeah, that thing.
16 quart.
Well, he asked me if I would keep an eye on it while he left the room, and I'm like, sure, I'll do that. And he goes, now you remember you got to stir it every few minutes. I was like, all right, come in and do that. And I'm stirring, and it's all nice. And I think my eye itched or something. I rub my eye, and I stirring, and I'm like, my eye starts stinging. I was like, well, I guess I got bit instead of just itching. I'm stirred again, and I told him, and he comes back in the room, and he's like, I said, I've stirred it a couple of times. About that time, it felt like something got on my tongue, so I reached up and I picked out whatever was on my tongue, and that's when it hit me. I didn't get stung in my eye area. Someone had a really hot jalapeno juice on his hands when he stirred the salsa. So it was on the spoon, and I got it on my fingers, so that was what was burning my eye. But of course, when I got that, whatever it was, off my tongue starts burning. And I look at him and I say, are you making hot salsa? Because I am on fire, because you stirred the salsa with the spoon after handling the jalapeno.
She got the preview.
Uh-huh. I was really nervous about trying it, because I thought, if he has that hot a pepper that it left hot pepper on the spoon, I don't know if I can handle it. But it wasn't. It was really good. I mean, it had some heat. Don't get me wrong. It had heat, but it didn't have as much.
I only put 2 jalapenos to, when it got cooked down, 8 quarts.
Yeah, but it's...
That was a jalapeno to a gallon. So.
Yeah. But one of them was really hopping hot. It had some kick. Because you put 2 jalapenos in the last batch and it didn't burn me like that. So, I told him, I said, next time you cut jalapenos, wash your hands before you stir. Because that burned me up. But I mean, it is really good salsa though. But we have just as much, if not more, tomatoes now than we had when we made it.
I think we canned probably as much already this year as we did all last year in tomato products alone. And they're still loaded outside. Yeah,
the big Abe Lincoln, would you put the picture on our Facebook page, was it?
On Facebook.
The big one. We had another one that was bigger. I had gotten rid of the little plate that I had used for the first big one because I had bought a little bit larger size. So that one had actually a crack in it, and I didn't see any reason in keeping it. So when we went to do the measurement comparing with it, it was on a little bit bigger plate, and it took up that whole plate.
It was a big tomato.
You've got what, 3 of those in our big pot that we use to boil tomatoes? He only got 3 of the big Abe Lincolns in it. And that one big one almost filled the bowl that he was using to cut the tomato up to put into the juice maker.
It made a big difference, that's for sure. One large tomato.
It was huge. We got a couple more real big ones.
We should have weighed it, but we don't have scales here.
No, we don't have.
Scales weigh that.
But it was huge.
It's the biggest tomato I ever grown. Biggest tomato we ever grown here.
Yeah.
It and the previous one was probably the 2 biggest tomatoes I've ever grown.
Well, now, unless you want to count the oddball thing over there.
Yeah, that was 4 tomatoes stuck together.
It looks really weird.
It was horrible to get off the vine without tearing the vine up.
It looks weird.
Because they were stuck side by side in a circle.
But,
almost circle. One was out of whack, but it was the ugliest tomato I've ever picked.
Yeah.
Mm.
We changed out the big, what do you call those pots?
Our weekend pots?
Yeah, the weekend pots.
We changed out 3 of them today.
Yeah.
We took the wonderberries out of them.
Yeah.
Wonderberries I wasn't impressed with. They finally started putting on some berries, and they look like they're loaded, but their berries are so small it don't really add up. And it takes a while for them to rebuild once you pick them. Yeah, we pulled them. We put tomato plants in 2 of them and pepper plants in 1, and you potted 2 smaller ones.
Yeah.
We got 5 more than weekend pots left.
Yeah.
They're finna get the same thing. They've got huckleberries in them, garden huckleberries. It's not the wild good ones. It's kind of like, they're about like the wonderberries, just a little bit larger berry. They didn't produce like I thought they would. And the flavor of them, they don't tell you, they don't describe the flavor near what the flavor is. It don't taste like a berry.
Oh.
It's when they say meaty, they really mean it don't taste like a berry at all. It's very plain, very rough taste. I don't know how to explain it other than the meaty. They only taste like fruit. You've got to add sugar in order to get the flavor out of them. I don't know how many plants you got to have grow enough where you can actually do something with it. We picked 4 times and I don't have a quart yet of berries.
Yeah.
It's time for them to go. It's time for something that's more productive.
We tried them. Not impressed.
No.
It takes a lot of them to really do anything, and we just don't have that kind of space to be having those. But it was fun trying.
I gave them a shot.
Yeah.
We're putting
Tomatoes
for the fall and some pepper plants, and we'll probably put some collard greens or something in one of them. Maybe some lettuce or just a few things for the fall. If we have a true winter this year like we did not last year, it's gonna kill everything anyway.
Yeah.
Last winter never really get cold like it should have here.
No, it didn't.
And we actually got several things that made it through.
Yeah. But we're hoping to carry the tomatoes on through to the first hard frost at least.
I planted 24 in the garden this week. Well, 23 now. One of them didn't handle the transfer apparently. They had them growing in propagation trays and they was kind of cramped, so I moved them up to a little bit larger pot and they got root mounded in, and I put them out in the garden, and 23 of them done really good. But we put out 5 today in pots next to the house so we can kind of control the heat and control the weather. We can move the pots back and forth.
Yeah.
If they need more sun or less sun or whatever, we can water them better.
We pulled up the, not tomatoes, but the potatoes out of our bucket. Wasn't too impressed with it, but...
And we made a video today about the potatoes we found in the little Chips Ahoy can.
Yeah, that thing.
And it wasn't impressive. They did grow a few.
But hey!
If they'd been better soil in springtime, because potatoes do better here in spring, they might have done pretty good.
Yeah.
Summertime,
It was pretty good for the summer.
it just wasn't much there.
Yeah.
For goats and vines, it was about it.
Well,
And a few potatoes under 3 of them.
it was one of those experiments to, would it grow or not? We now know, yeah, it grows. What'd you call it, the change?
Yeah, we got it from the tiny potatoes most people throw back in the garden. Just because it was in the cup and they was already sprouting, so we thought we'd give them a try and make a good experiment.
Yeah.
Get food out of it.
Oh yeah.
I'd rather plant the seed potatoes or the potatoes we save every year.
Oh yeah.
I'd rather plant them because you get bigger taters easier.
The other experiment was the one in the flower pot. They didn't turn out too good.
Well, it was russet, I think. When I rolled them out there and looked at it, it looked like I planted a russet potatoes.
Well, it was
they
just.
don't do good at all here.
I was gonna say it was just a couple
It's
of.
just too hot.
It was just a couple of potatoes we had left, and we just wanted to see, could we grow it in a pot? Which we can grow them in the pot. You just got to get a better one than we ended up with.
They got to be planted earlier too. That was.
Oh yeah. That was a late. That was like round 2 or 3 or something, and it was just something we just grabbed and tried.
We usually plant potatoes right around Easter. I'm usually off work for that 2 or 3 days, or
Oh yeah.
spring break comes somewhere in there. So somewhere in that time is usually when I plant potatoes, and they do better than they have any other place we've done it, and that makes them come out like the 1st of July, 2nd week of July.
I think they're catching on to we plant during fall break, Thanksgiving break, Christmas break, spring break, and summer break. Because that's when we're home the most.
We're home for it.
But
That's good times too. It's a good marker for
yeah.
our growing season here. Which we've got potatoes planted. If you haven't seen our video, we're growing fall potatoes.
Giving that a try.
I've got a row kind of close to another row, kind of shading it from the evening sun because the sun's really hard on potato this kind of weather. It's in the upper 90s. Heat index is triple digits right now during the day.
It's anywhere between 105 to 120.
Well, the highest I've seen, I think, is 115 on the heat index. But the leaves of the tomatoes are actually crinkling up at night or during the day, and they relax back at night because I water them. They'll come back out the next morning and try to do goody. Right now it's pitiful because it's so dry.
Yeah.
But it's all wadded up.
It's hard. Our squash and zucchini's lasting longer.
I never imagined we'd kept it this long.
I didn't either.
But the bug pressure's horrible right now.
Yeah, and it's starting to get real bad.
I'm picking off eggs and bugs every day now. Off just about every plant. You have to roll the leaves over and look if you want to keep them. And it don't take but a day or two for them eggs to hatch and you've got a mess. You've got dead plants usually.
Yeah.
But we kept 9 plants.
I think that's how many we had.
That we kept 9 out of 11 so far. Still getting a little squash zucchini, but it's slow in this kind of weather.
Yeah, it's really.
If it would rain, it would help.
The cucumbers are still putting up 1 or 2 on every day.
Our experimental cucumbers growing under the shade tree out here is starting to climb really well.
Oh yes.
We should have videoed that today.
Well, we still got to make the end of the month video, so we'll have to do that in the next day or 2.
We need to make a garden tour.
Yeah. We do that like towards the end of the month, and it kind of helps us to keep up with where we're at each month. And with the cucumbers in the garden, I still got a cucumber off it. I got one off this morning. They're getting a little bit dried out.
It's pretty rough right now.
Oh, it's
The
very.
ground is rough. I was trying to dig with a shovel this morning.
Yeah.
I didn't put it on the camera, but I turned around, stuck the shovel in the ground, took my foot and stomped the shovel, stick it in the ground so it would hold still and I wouldn't have to prop it. I couldn't stick it in the ground.
Yeah.
I beat and couldn't stick it in the ground far enough to hold the shovel.
No, concrete.
It's too much.
That old saying, how dry I am.
Mm-hmm.
But, oh, the watermelons are starting to come in. I've polished off the last of the little baby one.
We need to get a video before this is over with that one that we got in the closet. We've already pulled one, put it in the closet. We had too many.
I was talking about the baby one we had to save because it was starting to rot on the end.
I'm talking about that big one in there that I had to tote in the house.
Yeah, because I can't pick it up.
We need a video of that at the end here.
Oh, yes.
Make sure they get to see our tomatoes and they get to see our watermelon.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting cantaloupe. That's my favorite thing.
I ate the baby watermelon. It was I called it my baby. It was like, he ate a few slices, but I cut that thing up yesterday, and I sat here with a bowl of it last night, and I'm like, he goes, what are we having for supper? I said, I think I'm going to have this watermelon. And tonight he asked me, he goes, well, what do you think I'm going to have for supper? I was like, well, I ate way too much pizza at lunch, so I'm going to have this watermelon. I finished it off. It was so good.
We got to cut the old big one, don't we?
Oh, yes. We got to cut the big one now, because I need more watermelon.
That's one I'd really need to take somewhere away.
Yeah.
I just like to know.
But it's so funny. That one that I ate had grown, the vine had gone through the fencing that we had put up for the rabbits, and it was just kind of hanging from the fence down to the ground. I was looking today as I was picking the green beans because they're in that same area. We have two more. They're about this big, and they're just hanging from the fence. They're hanging from the line that went on the fence.
That would actually fool some people, because it hanging in midair like that, it wasn't sitting anywhere on the very end on the ground. It actually striped itself all the way around. It had watermelon stripes on the bottom instead of having a white bottom or a yellow bottom.
Uh-huh.
Because I rolled it over and it had stripes all the way around. I always was told the bottom turns yellow, it's a good sign. Of course, there's still three other ones, you know, the sound of it and you peck on it. The straw method.
I go, Brett, is this done?
I just heard this week there's a way of telling about the vines, so everybody's got their own way. But
yeah.
that would have fooled somebody because the stripes was on the bottom last week.
Mm-hmm.
It was dangling in midair, more or less.
We got two more doing that now. And they're like at the top of the fencing.
Gotta pull the fence down.
Yeah.
These are Carolina Cross watermelons. Carolina Cross is known for 50, 60 pound watermelons.
I'm looking forward to eating that big one.
I'm looking forward to cut it to see what it looks like on the inside.
I just want to eat it. I know what we still got to do. We still got to cut, dig up that corner up there.
We got spaghetti squash, some heirloom spaghetti squash we got to put out. And we got some eggplant we got to put out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the eggplant's still a little small. It's going to have to grow. But the spaghetti squash has got to go. It's getting big enough it's feeding the lay over and start vining. It's got to get to the ground.
I guess we're going to try.
We're going to try a fall run of this.
We're going to try to break the ground up enough to get it in the ground. It's pretty hard right now.
Get the grubbing hoe after it.
Yeah.
We'll have to beat it with a grubbing hoe.
It's rough, but I'm looking forward to that because I've had spaghetti squash before, and because some of the tomatoes that we're having, we got a lot of tomatoes left. Instead of making more salsa, we're going to make tomato sauce.
Hopefully spaghetti sauce.
And when we was talking about the spaghetti squash, I said, well, we're going to do some more sauce. Grace said, we ought to just make some spaghetti sauce. And I was, yeah. So then we'd have our homemade sauce with our spaghetti squash. And then I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait to cook that up. I know I got a while to wait because I got to wait to grow the spaghetti squash, but I think that's going to be fun.
Just like keep it watered.
What was it you cut today to go in the spaghetti sauce?
Basil.
Basil. I knew you was cutting something out there.
We've got a few herbs. We've got basil and rosemary and onion chives, and our dill and our cilantro's already bolted and went to seed, which we got the dill seed in the house. That'll be on. That's part of the little short video about the tomatoes. I didn't film it, but we got men over we should already had out, and it's now getting up big enough to transplant it.
Yeah.
But the sun's been really hard on that. It looks so much better. I brought it in this morning to transplant it, and of course we didn't do it.
No, but it's made it look better.
Put off, but it's really green and pretty right now. Looks a lot better being in the house than in the hot sun.
It's just, I can't wait for this heat wave to pass. It's been rough. But I mean, it's thankful because it's usually here a lot earlier than this.
We're getting our okra.
Oh yes.
We've pulled pretty much all the onions because the hot sun just rent them.
Yeah.
The greens just died on them. We just had to dig around and find them.
Yeah, we got the onion and beet bed weeded, and we're going to lay plastic and let it.
The summer beets ain't doing too good.
Yeah.
That's a failure right there. The carrots are doing all right.
I still say a rabbit got some of those beets.
I don't think the first 2 plantings ever come up. I think them seeds was bad.
Maybe.
These seeds are growing, but they're like an inch tall and they haven't grown in 2 weeks. They're just not moving.
Yeah, I think it's
Probably
the heat.
Water. Of course, again, it needs to rain. We're waiting on the rain. 55% chance tomorrow, just like it was today, which it's been for the last, 2 days? It's been 55%. It's sprinkled one time.
I really think somebody's got the giant umbrella over where we live, because all around us gets rain, but our little town has not got nothing. We had a little rain yesterday, enough to really settle the dust, and that was about it.
Got a force field around us.
Well, all around us got all kinds of rain, but right here in our little town, nope. Nah, we got just a little bit yesterday. And like I said, just enough to settle the dust. Poor old Bongo couldn't even get his fur completely wet.
Now we're getting bell pepper, and we're getting jalapeno pepper, and cayenne pepper.
Mm-hmm.
We're finna get we got some Bodie pepper.
I call them Bodine, so I
We've
don't
got
know.
a lemon starburst pepper from McGee Homestead Adventures.
I'm not trying that. I saw how Ernie had. No. I saw
Ernie,
her
if you say
face.
this, she still thinks about you eating that pepper.
Every time he says I'm growing that, I'm like, I saw her face, and there's no way I'm trying that one. None. Don't even slip it in anything I'm eating.
We got more corn plenty.
Oh yes, more.
We've got field corn
Yeah, bugle corn.
for the people that hadn't kept up with us.
Bugle.
They're fall corn. We've got green beans planted in 3 or 4 different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Speckled butter peas.
Yeah.
She's not looking forward to that. It's actually
No.
considered a lima bean, but
In the soup, I can handle it, but just to eat them, no.
But we decided that first this year we was planting. Our planting style this year was back to the basics. We was growing the basic things it took to store. Now watermelon and cantaloupe don't necessarily store real well unless you get them picked late in the fall. Watermelons will keep for a while.
But they just my favorite.
We have kept them for months. You can put them in a cool, dark room and they'll keep for months in the fall and the winter.
I think we also said we was doing a vegetable soup garden, because I wanted a lot of.
Garden.
We call it the soup garden, and just about everything we've grown, we do put in soup.
Tomatoes, green beans, corn, onions,
Mhm.
carrots.
Mhm.
It's
Only thing we don't put in the soup is the cantaloupe and tomato and watermelon, but that's dessert.
They
And
don't
like I
last
said,
long.
it can make a meal, and it really don't, because they come in so staggered that by the time we eat one, the other one's ready to be eaten. And I also take them to work with me, and the ladies at work, they really enjoy the watermelon, and the gentlemen. I can't think of anything else we got going.
We're picking berries right now. We've got of course we pick wonder berries and garden huckleberries. We're getting rid of them. I'm picking aroma berries.
Muscadines
We're
coming
not
up.
picking them yet, but
No, but they're getting there.
we're talking about the berries we're picking now.
Oh,
The Rona berry is the one we're picking right now.
yeah,
No, it's a healthy berry.
yeah,
She won't like it.
no,
Anytime it's a healthy berry, she's in a real good berry.
no.
Blueberry is probably the best tasting healthy berry I know of. We got blueberry bushes, but they're not big enough to produce.
No.
And we got, as she said, muscadine vine. It's loaded.
It is, and they're getting bigger. They're
Our
about
grapevines are doing
marble
good.
size now.
Our grapevines actually got killed in the frost this year. Or
Yeah.
The berries got knocked off in the frost. But they redone some of them. They still got berries on them.
Mhm.
So we're going to get a few grapes. Not near as many as we should have. We should have been loaded with them.
And we got apples this year. Oh, did we get apples?
I picked 5 5-gallon buckets of apples. 4 off one tree.
Yep.
I picked a gallon off of the crabapple tree. And the rest of them come off a yellow apple tree. It just really didn't do good this year.
That's a lot of apples for not doing good.
A couple of gallons, and very good.
Oh, I thought you was talking about the one that filled up the bucket over.
No, that's red apple.
Oh, that's red apple. I get them confused. We picked a bunch of them.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I picked five-gallon buckets of apples. But one tree had 20 gallons on it. And that's the majority of them off of it. We got peaches. We're going to have peaches.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait for them to get ripe.
Elderberries. We're going to have to pick the elderberries. Another health food.
Yeah.
We'll have goji berries. We'll have
Oh, no.
lycopene berry.
You can tell I'm not the one that likes the berries.
Can't think there's anything else we got growing. We got cranberries in the front yard.
No.
They're horrible.
But the hazelnut I might try.
And the hazelnuts will be good. We actually have hazelnuts on the tree.
I'm looking forward to those.
I don't know how many we'll get this year, but we got a few last year. We got a lot more this year. Been busy.
I mean,
That's really we're down to this kind of video because the weekend's about the only time we need to get stuff done unless I take a day or two off.
and that's why we're so far behind on our John reading too.
Mm-hmm.
We have been so, well, doing the video itself.
Doing the video.
We've just been so busy. By the time we get
Gotta
done,
warm
we're
this up.
just tired. Yep.
But we thought we'd do a catch-up video, let you know where we're at. Y'all keep up with us or watch our videos. We put out stuff occasionally. Usually it's on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Maybe Sunday.
Yeah.
And Sunday through Wednesday we usually can't get much done other than working and plucking the garden, pulling weeds, and
Cannon.
we're growing lots of weeds. Yeah, canning, freezing. It's a good thing. We're truly blessed with our harvest here.
Oh yes. It's been a great growing
It's working
season.
us hard, but it's a blessing.
Anything worth having is worth working for.
We're working hard for it.
Well, we do our best and leave God the rest, and He is blessing us right and left. Well, we just thought we'd update you on our garden. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you and look forward to another video soon.